Welcome back, welcome home. Current and future homeowners, it's Justin Simmons, your local real estate agent. Today, we're talking about how to win in a bidding war if you are a buyer. And no, it's not only focused on the highest price. 6 tips that'll help you stand out in what can be a very competitive market. First tip is going to be your down payment. Now, you may have a large down payment available. Sometimes people don't want to put all they can down at contract signing. But if you are in a competitive multi-offer situation, this can really help you stand out. Now, what are we talking about here? Let's use numbers. Let's say you're buying a $700,000 house and you can put 20% down. It's $140,000. Maybe you only want to put down $20,000 at contract signing and save the other $120,000 until closing, right? You can do that. But now if you're looking at other buyers who are competing against you and someone's putting down $50,000 at contract signing or $100,000 or $140,000, that can make them stand out and signal their seriousness to the seller. What sellers want is as little risk as possible throughout the transaction. So the more signs you can show to them that you're a serious buyer and you're engaged and you want this house, the better your chances of getting your offer accepted. So if you have the ability, a higher down payment can definitely help you stand out when it comes time to choose between offers. Tip 2, limited or waived contingencies. Before you freak out, hear me out. So first, inspection. If you're buying a house, I generally recommend doing an inspection pretty much all the time. But assuming you're comfortable with it, you can do an inspection only for informational purposes, which means you want to know the status of the house at the time of inspection, but you're not going to be asking the seller to reduce the price or to fix anything. That's one way to help separate yourself from the pack a little bit. 2, you can waive the appraisal contingency clause or waive the appraisal gap if you have the means to do so. So let's say you are at this $700,000 house again, and you believe it's worth $700,000. That's why you're going to offer that amount. Maybe you offer a little bit more. Maybe you offer $750,000, right? Because you really believe it's worth it. Talk to your realtor, have them do a CMA, comparative market analysis, to see what the values of recent comparables for that house are in the market to get a sense of where an appraiser may wind up. So if your realtor saying, hey, I know you're offering $750,000, I think we can safely say this house will comp out at $725,000, $730,000. You know that there's potentially a $20,000 gap between what you're offering and what the appraiser may think the house is worth. If you're okay and you have the resources or you're fine with covering that potential $20,000 gap, understanding that it could be more because this is not an actual appraisal, this is a CMA done by your realtor, or it could be less or could not exist at all, then you can waive that appraisal contingency gap. And that's another way to help your offer stand out in what could be a competitive multi-offer situation. Another thing you can do here is shorten that window of your mortgage contingency clause. Basically, the mortgage contingency clause is in effect, and it says, hey, from the time we went into contract, the buyer has 45 days to get their commitment letter from the bank, okay? Maybe you don't need the whole 45. Maybe your lender can get it in 3 weeks, 21 days, because you've given them all the paperwork and you're going to be submitting everything immediately, and appraisal is going to be ordered very quickly. Speak to your lender, speak to your realtor, speak to your attorney. Tip 3, be flexible on that closing date. Maybe the seller wants to close sooner. Great. Let them know you're ready to do that. Maybe they want to close later. Great. Let them know you're ready to do that. It, of course, depends on your situation, but that flexibility can help you stand out. Tip 4, a stronger lender approval, because not all pre-approvals are created equally. So you can get your regular pre-approval when you're submitting your offer, but your lender may also provide you with a fully underwritten approval. Basically, they're saying, hey, we ran this profile, this loan application basically through our entire system for this property, and we know that this person is good to go. All we need is a couple things, maybe an appraisal to come back and a title to come back clear. But as far as the buyer's profile, everything's fine. That way it can help you stand out compared to someone who just has a general pre-approval that has not gone through underwriting and they have not done a full analysis of their profile to see if that person will be able to close when it's all said and done. Tip 5, escalation clause. We're getting serious now. Basically, the way it works is for that $700,000 house, you can say, hey, I will beat any other offer by $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000, let's say, up until $735,000. Maybe that's your absolute maximum, but you don't want to start there necessarily. You want to have an escalation clause in place that lets the owner know that you're only going to be escalating your price if there are other offers that are higher than your original offer. Okay? So that's another way to signal your seriousness by inching up there and also trying to avoid having to pay more than you would need to for the house. And now tip 6, my secret tip that I never like to share, but you're here on the channel, so you're going to be treated like family. Tip 6 is offering to pay part or all of the seller's closing costs. So the seller will have transfer taxes to pay, attorney fee to pay, most likely, some title costs, right? There may be some other fees involved as well. You can offer to pay part or all of those, right? And now you're making sure that the seller gets more money in their pocket. That's another way to signal serious intent and can really help you stand out in a competitive offer situation. So now, that was 6 tips. There are more that I can share. If you're interested, feel free to reach out. Also, don't forget you can download your free home buying guide using the link down below. There's also a down payment assistance guide if you're interested. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Stay competitive. Don't get dismayed because the market or the area you're in may be tough. The process will work. Just takes a little bit of time and sometimes a little bit of professional know-how to help you close your deal. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Bye.